Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Today we're going to do a reading for Virgos. Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. Okay. Deep breaths, everyone. Let's ground. All right, Spirit, what do we need to know about Virgos? What are Virgos confronting? What are the blocks that are showing up? And what are the solutions to those blocks? What are they focusing on? What are they confronting in this current chapter of their lives? All right, music. So, oh, we had a flipper. Hold on. Anything else? The music card for me is a frequency card. So Virgos, you are known for being very detail-oriented. Virgos oftentimes have very high standards for themselves and those around you. You're really great at analyzing situations. Like I said, super helpful, critical, detail-oriented. Okay. Completion. Whoa, having an avalanche. I'm going to take all these. Hold on a sec. Okay, let's get organized here. Music, that's a frequency card. Self-love, we have individuality, an 11 card. Intuition, wow, geez, and completion. Can you just take a gander at all of the first and second chakra energy we have here? I mean, there's so much red and orange and yellow, and I find it interesting that we go from the root to the crown, right? We go from first to, what is that, seventh chakra? All right, let me just drop in for a moment. These, I'm sorry I'm taking so long to say something, but there's about 3 separate storylines coming through here. Let me just go in consecutive order to keep things balanced. And before I move on, let's take a look at what's in the unconscious position. So what's being pushed into the shadows is this follow your dreams. So Virgos, sometimes your perfectionism can feel paralyzing. Sometimes all of that analysis can lead to paralysis. Your job is in being a diligent steward of your own frequency. Are you, This is just such a weird reading. Hold on. You know what? No, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to get more cards because I just feel like we're hitting a bunch of different notes in these messages, and I just want to get a little bit more. All right, we have Follow Your Intuition, a second intuition card, and then we have Celebration, Let Go, and Have Fun. Yeah, I don't know that Virgos are known for their fun. You know, out of all the signs, I don't think Virgos are really known for letting loose. Virgos are known for their stubbornness and for investing in their own ideas and their own perceptions. So, listen, when that's focused appropriately, when that awareness is focused on something that is in alignment with your soul and your higher self, then that's amazing, right? That's the light attribute of this quality. However, if you're focused on the wrong thing or focused on something that is not of the highest and best good, it can act as an anchor. It can be, it can show up as the shadow attribute. Does that make sense? So, you're being called to really curate your own frequency around how you feel about self, around how you feel about you as an individual. How is your self-worth these days? You know, this is so imbalanced here. We are heavily on the first and second chakra. First chakra is your root, right? Your stability. You're tethered to the planet. Your feelings of safety and security in this world. Your financial issues, financial stability. Your safety in how do I say this? Your faith in yourself to provide that stability for yourself. And so I just, like, nothing is inherently wrong or bad in this reading. However, we can just tell by the heavy weight of all of these more fiery colors, that there's something imbalanced, right? There's a massive teeter-totter. If we were on a seesaw, someone would have their butt on the ground, right? And then someone would be way up in the air. So it's very interesting here. Virgos, you're being called to lighten up, and I'm not saying that in a rude or mean way. I'm quite literally inviting you to enlighten your being, to lighten up your soul, which means you have to cut the cords and let go and pull up some of these anchors you have that are rooted in attachments. You're being called to connect with source, connect to your divine intuition, and really honor what it's telling you when it's telling you to close certain cycles, to end certain relationships, either romantic, coworkers, jobs, locations, places of business, places of living. You're being called to, quote unquote, trim the fat in your life, to really cut off these parts that no longer serve, right? Fat is wonderful. It gives such rich flavor to a lot of dishes when you're cooking with it. However, it's not the healthiest to consume, right? It doesn't provide so much nutritional value. I'm speaking in generalities. You could go on and on about, animal fats, and we could debate all the things and talk about all the studies that are out there, but that's not what we're focusing on. What we're focusing on is your ability to wield your discernment in a way that is healthy, in a way that allows you to pick up your roots and move on to the next thing. Yeah, the other thing too I feel here for you Virgos is that you're very consumed with all of this intensity, there's a lot of fire around these topics of safety, sensuality, sexuality, creativity, feelings of self-esteem, self-confidence. There's just, I can't tell you the status of the health of those chakras. What's coming through this message is that there's just so much intensity around those chakras. So you're being called to balance. If the flames get out of control, we might have to pour some water around the perimeter or even on top of the flames to just help them calm down a little bit. Now, if this is too intense for you to make any sort of concrete choices here, because that's what it feels like there's a lot of flames right now, maybe it's not time to make a choice, Virgo. In times of chaos, your work isn't to manage the chaos. Your work is to get really quiet and manage yourself, right? Because you aren't actually in chaos. Chaos is just something that's flowing through you, right? You are just an empty vessel. So what's also accessible to you in that moment is peace, abundance, joy, surrender, fun, beauty, awe, wonder. In the same room of all these other intense things, of all these intense feelings, there's also all these other less dense, less intense, wonderful, lighthearted things. You're really being called, another way to say this, Virgo, is the gateway to your dreams will be found the moment you surrender, the moment you let loose and have fun and celebrate everything that you've created at this point in your life. We have these two messages about intuition. Spirit, Luis, do you want to share anything else? When I get this many messages around your intuition, hold on, card on the floor. We have children. Know that your children are protected. Okay. Wow. Okay. For some of you Virgos, your circumstances may be affected by children, right? It makes sense that you're heavily in your root chakra. That's family of origin. That's family. That's children. That's anything to do with that, with a firm foundation. I feel like I'm talking to this feels like a masculine Virgo reading. Take that, for what it's worth. But know that your children are protected as you start to navigate through these choppy waters towards your soul's deepest alignment, towards your dreams. Now, if you don't have actual children in this life, it might be your future children, or it might be your internal child, your inner child. Um, hmm. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Anything else? Anything else for Virgos? Okay, 7 deadly sins. We have humanity's destructive traits. Yeah, so again, this is another balance card. Sure, you can look up the 7 deadly sins and lean into those individual sins, but really, to me, you are being called to a higher temperance. You are being called to a conscious, intentional sobriety over your lower desires, over your lower, not desires, what's the word? Lower, it's like this shadowy needs that might come up, needs that might arise that your lower self is attached to. So you're being called to balance that out. Okay, anything else for Virgos? It's funny, I have to keep reminding me who I'm doing this reading for. That's interesting. Virgos, do you easily forget something? Do you come to a place of epiphany and you make all these wise connections and have all this awareness arise, and then all of a sudden it's gone again and you're back to the drawing board? There's something here about something that is hard to look at is easily forgettable. It's our ego and brain's way of trying to keep us safe. It's like when someone experiences a trauma, and sometimes when the trauma is so profound, they might not even remember the trauma. Or when someone gets like impaled in an accident and yet they're still walking and talking and functioning, it's all that adrenaline is flooding the nervous system, so it's not really registering with the brain how much pain they're actually in. It's like the body's defense mechanism to protect itself. Something about that may be happening for you, Virgos. If taking this next step towards your soul's deepest truth is so scary to you that it's actually causing a trauma, or it's registering in your nervous system as a trauma, it makes sense why it's easily forgettable. Okay, we also have cheer up, live in the moment. I'm going to put this on the celebration card because there is some sort of call to lightness, call to pleasure. Virgos, how can you lighten your load today? Can you take a day off? Can you go to the museum? Can you walk around the town or the city, or go somewhere beautiful? Go walk through nature, go look at a waterfall, or go look at a snow-covered mountain. I don't know where you live in the planet right now and what season it is, but is there something that you can identify in this present moment that will immediately lighten your load? Listening to music, playing music, stepping into sort of like a more lighter, loving frequency. I love ecstatic dance. I love hosting ecstatic dances. That always helps me lighten up. Quite literally, like let go of what's weighing me down. Anything else for Virgos? Anything else for Virgos? I could feel the pressure, Virgos, that you're putting on yourself. It's culminating in my third eye. It's giving me a little bit of a headache, if I'm being honest. So I could feel the intensity of the pressure you're putting yourself under to somehow deliver. Let's see what's in the unconscious position. Resilience, rise above all tribulations. Yeah, resilience is a hell of a thing. We are resilient as humans. We can go through the most insane trauma and still come out fine on the other side, or heal from that trauma and then eventually be fine on the other side. It's in the shadow position. Virgos, are you telling yourself a story that you're not resilient, that you can't rise above your pain, that you'll never get out from under the weight of whatever this circumstance is, because it's not serving you? Is it? Tell me right now, is it serving you? I'll shut up and stop my YouTube channel. These dense, negative, I hate to use the word negative, these dense stories, these dark stories that sabotage growth, that sabotage curiosity, that cauterize creativity. It's like it's just not useful. So another word than negativity I rather use is just that it's not useful. It doesn't serve your soul in any capacity. So you're being asked to look at that, to know that you at your core are resilient. Okay, where are we going? Where are we going, Spirit? All right, let's get some of these Ascension cards. Anything for Virgos? All right, what would support them in knowing where are they at right now? What would support them in bridging this, crossing this bridge of resilience to the other side of their system, of their yeah, the visual I'm getting is that seesaw again. What would help them balance the seesaw, Spirit? Oh, whoa, did you see that just fly out of my hand? Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. Listen, Virgos, this is really hard. Offer yourself a profound amount of grace and kindness right now. Love yourself. Like, here's the thing. Beating yourself up is not going to work. It's not supportive in any capacity. So you might as well try loving yourself. You might as well try rooting for yourself. This stuff is hard. Give yourself all of that loving grace. And if you can't access it, ask a friend. Ask a friend to give you the reference point of loving yourself enough to pause, to celebrate how far you've come, to allow yourself to have a little bit of fun. It's okay. Nobody walks this path alone. There's many, many people in the world. You just have to reach out and connect and give yourself a chance. Okay, we have Pleiadian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution. All right. I mean, wonderful, wonderful little vote of confidence there for you, Virgos, that, resolution is on its way. It's already coming in. You just have to remember your resilience. Okay, cards on the floor. What else do we have? We have Order of Melchizedek. Is that how you say that? I don't know who that is. That's a new name for me. Embraced by light, mission uncovered, don't give up. Yeah, we started the reading with the, you're pushing your dreams into the shadows here. It's okay that it's hard. Don't get deterred, Virgos, that it's difficult. Understand that it's difficult because you've been called to walk this path. And something about that difficulty, that abrasion, is going to polish your rough spots and give you the skills and tools that it will take to bring your dreams into fruition. Anything else? Anything else for Virgos? Anything else for Virgos? Whoa. That was a flipper. I'm going to take it though. Halls of Amenti initiation. Secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiations. Like, here's the thing, Virgos, and I know this goes, I feel like this is so counterintuitive to how you naturally want to operate. I know you're very analytical. You like, the devil is in the details, right? But also, by allowing yourself to be consumed by these details, you're quite literally allowing the devil to consume you. I know that's a little dramatic way to put that, but you're being initiated right now. You're walking through like a portal, or this is like a rite of passage for you. There's something here on the other side of this difficulty that will unlock a whole new way of approaching life. Anything else for Virgos? Anything else for Virgos? Anything else? We have star gathering, stars aligned, remembering home, soul family. Yeah, just another reminder, Virgos, that you don't have to do this alone. Reach out to community, reach out to source, reach out to who and whatever you believe in. Just remember what those things are. Like, I think to be someone on the planet, we all have to believe in something greater than ourselves, because if we only believe in ourselves and we come to a fork in the road or a brick wall where we can't get ourselves out of it, we need to reach for something outside of self. Now, I don't know what that is for you. It could be something 3D, it could be something celestial or quantum or whatever you want to call it, but we all need something to connect to that's outside of self, as almost like a, I can't believe I'm going to say it like this, but almost like a contingency plan. It's like when you go skydiving and you have your backup chute. And then we also have Merkaba activation, transcendence, ascension. You are rising up. In the unconscious position, we have stellar gateway activation. Do you see how many portals are in this reading? There's a lot of visual portals. Infinite potential manifestation vortex. Whew. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? I'm very fatigued physically by this reading. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to last, but where do we want to go? Let's just get one of these cards and then a Buddha wisdom, and I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to close it. All right, for Virgos, what do they need to focus on? Any questions they need to be challenged by right now? What would call them out of the darkness into the light? What do they need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? What do they need to know? God, a lot of flippers, which makes sense to me. Virgos, it's almost like, do you know what double Dutch jump roping is? If you've ever done double Dutch, you have to kind of like bounce in and out to get the rhythm of the ropes to figure out when you're going to jump in. And the cards, the energy in the cards are very much like that. It's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's very like, I don't know. When do I jump in? When do I jump in? We have Starseed. What lights you up? Pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Remember, we started with that music card as our first card. You're being called to cultivate your own frequency. Make sure, oh wait, now I have to tell you this thing hold on, let me finish this. Do you hear me? I'm so excited. I can't get it all out. Let me just read this last card so I don't forget. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Okay, now that I shared that, have you seen this thing that went viral, saying that there's two kinds of people in the world? You're either a thermostat person or you're a thermometer person. Now, a thermostat person, when you think of a thermometer, what does it do? It takes the temperature of the environment that it's in, right? You walk into a room, put a thermometer in a room, it's going to match the temperature of the room. Now, a thermostat is the sovereign being out of those two. The thermostat says, no, I want this room at 75 degrees. And then the room itself rises up to meet that temperature. It either cools it down or heats it up, right? So be mindful of this, Virgo. Are you living life as a thermometer person or a thermostat person? Make sure that you are not, that you set your own intention in the world, that you set your own temperature as you navigate the world, as you navigate this intensity and difficulty. Make sure you're not, adjusting to someone else's temperature, right? This is a call to higher sovereignty, Virgos. Do you know, still I'm at the end of this reading and I still was like, wait, is this a Virgo reading? I don't know what's up with this. I don't know why this is there's so much forgetfulness in this reading. All right, Spirit, let's close on a Buddha wisdom. What do we need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? What do Virgos need to know? Give us a bit of wisdom. We got a lot of bit of wisdom. Hold on, let me see here. Do I want to take all these? Sure, why not? We have look not for recognition. Follow your heart, liberate yourself from within. Yeah, this is another card of detachment. Famous Buddhist pillar of awareness is attachment is suffering, right? So it's time to figure out where are your attachments? What are you attached to? And surrender them. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. Like, listen, Virgos, no one's putting that perfectionism template onto you. It's coming from inside the house, right? So you need to take accountability for your thoughts, for the amount of pressure you put on yourself, and surrender it. Do not let pleasure distract you, for in craving pleasure comes sorrow. Again, this isn't necessarily because you had a lot of love and pleasure and celebration and fun in this reading. It's not saying don't ever have pleasure. It's again another detachment card. When we crave something, when we're attached to something, it brings sorrow and suffering upon us, because then we have to then deal or navigate a world where if we don't have that thing, then we are not happy, right? So we're being called to more deeply surrender these attachments. I'm going to leave it there, Virgos. Lovely reading, very clear. I'm sorry you're having going through such a topsy-turvy time right now, but you're being called to enlighten your spirit. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this was supportive, and I'll see you in the next one.